because I thought I would be like, I don't know, 60 years old when it starts, yeah. And then me being in 42 at that time, I was like, I'm too young for this. I'm not ready.
Welcome to another Proactive Perimenopause Chick Chat, where each month we open up real, raw conversations with women from all over the world around their experiences of perimenopause and aging. If you're with us here live on Zoom, hello, I am so grateful that you're here. Please feel free to comment in the chat box as we move through the session. And if you're watching the replay and you're new to the Proactive Perimenopause community, welcome and thanks so much for taking the time to energetically sit with us. In this episode, we are diving deep into the emotional, mental, and psychological impacts of perimenopause with the lovely Kate from the UK. Kate is an outdoorsy soul with a deep love of long walks, photography, and that ever elusive sense of peace of mind. She's
Oh, yeah.
also mum to a 16-year-old chap, and together they're navigating the beautifully messy middle ground between teenage life challenges and the realities of perimenopause. This is a conversation about real life, real choices, and what happens when personal growth, parenting, hormones, and self-awareness all collide. Kate brings honesty, humour, and a grounded perspective that so many women will recognise. So make sure you stay with us until the end of this video, as I'll be shedding some insight as to what's going on in the brain and why many women experience myriad mental, emotional, and psychological challenges at this stage in their lives. So block out the next 45 minutes in your diary and come join us for this refreshingly honest conversation with Kate and other members of the Proactive Perimenopause group. Okay, so let's dive straight in and welcome Kate. Good morning, or actually good evening for you, Kate.
Yep, it is indeed.
Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story. I think it's so important for women to share their experiences to alleviate that sense of isolation that the mental symptoms can bring. So I'm really grateful that you're taking the time to share with us today. And firstly, I want to thank you for being a member of the Proactive Perimenopause community. And I'd love to ask, what brought you into that community?
You, it's all your fault. You're basically your bubbly personality, really, because I follow you for quite a while now, and curiosity as well, because it's just like a new experience for me, all this perimenopause, and yeah, experiencing stuff in group is always easier.
Yes, absolutely. So what value do you think you get from being part of the community?
Knowledge and experiences from other people. Seriously, the more I know, the I hope the easier it will be to go through the change.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of wish there'd been communities like this when I started going through my perimenopausal journey, because I felt so lost and alone, and there was just no information out there. That everyone, including me, thought that I was crazy. Have
Okay,
you felt like
sure.
that? Like, has there been a specific moment where you thought something's going on, but I don't know what? How did it
You know
start?
what? Yeah, I was actually thinking about it, and it came up to my visit in Poland, where my family lives. And I remember I was in the kitchen with my mom, and that's a long story because I was quite moody, which is not normal for me. I was moody. I was very, I don't know, sensitive. I had some health issues at that time. And my mom actually said to me, those hot flashes started then as well. And I didn't know about that. I never heard about it before. Well,
Yeah.
maybe I heard, but I didn't know what it was about. And my mom actually looked at me and she was like, my dear daughter, you're at the age where you actually, I think, going through the thing. So that was my discovery then, because I thought I will be like, I don't know, 60 years old when it starts. Yeah. And then me being 42 at that time, I was like, I'm too young for this. I'm not ready.
Yeah, no one tells you, like the brain changes actually start in your mid 30s.
Yes, I know. I read the book actually because I was like, no, it's not. It's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a book and boom, the doctor actually said, yep, this is how it starts. Mid
Yeah.
30s, you're just going down the hill.
That's
Yep.
nice of them. So, if you're comfortable sharing, what mental or emotional type symptoms have you been experiencing?
For me, the worst one was when I was trying hormonal therapy, and actually my body didn't react well to that. That was the worst 6 months of my life. It was actually this year, seriously, guys, that was the worst decision ever to go on hormones. It was depression almost. I never felt this low in my life.
Yeah.
Seriously, that was the worst. I was like a sofa girl every day, which wasn't normal for me because I do my 10K walk every single day.
Yeah.
And then there was me flat on the sofa and with no willingness to do anything.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I wanted to do stuff, but I just couldn't power through, if that makes sense.
Mm,
I
yeah.
just couldn't force myself to take the action.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? And the anxiety, I know you've mentioned you
Oh
experienced
yes, that was
anxiety.
big time. I didn't sleep for 3 weeks straight.
Yeah, yeah,
I had like, naps at night, but oh, phew, that was serious. Even thinking about it, it's just like it gives me anxiety
oh,
at the
yeah,
moment.
absolutely. And
So yeah.
I think that sort of is, I noticed that more in the early stages of perimenopause, like stage 1 and 2. So there are 5 stages. I'll share those in the group, but um, in stage 1 and 2, that's where I feel like the anxiety is the greatest because that's when our estrogen's really spiking.
Mm,
And I couldn't function at all with the anxiety.
yeah.
I literally got to the point where I was too scared to be at home alone with my kids. It was just crazy.
Yep. I
Yeah.
hear you. I feel you. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And being a
And
parent, it's quite challenging.
yeah, and because I'm single parent, there was this part like, oh my God, I'm going through menopause. I'm going to die. I seriously, cause it got into my head so much. I was even having stronger panic attacks
Yes.
because of the thought.
Yeah.
I was like, if I close my eyes, I will actually die. I will never wake up, and I don't want my son to find me
Yeah.
dead, obviously. So, oh gosh, that was
Yeah.
something else. Let's put it this way.
Well, from a stress management point of view, so I'm a stress management coach. From a stress management point of view, I've really learned to recognize that people will find a thought that matches the intensity of the feeling they feel. So, because that anxiety is so great for some people in early perimenopause, you look for a reason that you feel that bad. So you come up with a
Yeah.
reason that is over the top, like, oh, I'm going to die.
Mm.
So it's so important that we have these conversations so that women know, oh, okay, so I might get these really intense feelings. It doesn't mean that something really bad is going to happen.
Yeah, it took a while to get there, seriously, but you really have to be kind to yourself at this time. And I was trying. I was trying different approaches really because I was like, oh, pull your act together. Nothing is going on. Nothing is happening. You are safe. You are okay.
Yeah,
Why? So the more frustration added to the situation, obviously, because this approach. And then I was trying to relax, but I could relax to some degree, but then the thought was still at the back of my head.
yeah,
So, yeah. But
yeah.
then it magically, it just faded away. I would say it's not as bad as it was. So I still get them, and I know I will get them. There's no like, magic solution to it, but it's not as bad as it was when I was on this
So that was when you were
hormone.
on the
Yeah.
HRT.
Yeah.
Do you feel like sometimes your symptoms trigger each other and then they compound on each other? Like sometimes you get emotional because of the brain fog, and then you're foggy and you're
Yeah.
emotionally hyped at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say it's just like the snowball effect, I would say.
Yes.
In my case,
Yeah.
that's the best I could describe it. I get like small, tiny thing, and I get wind up about it. Let's
Yeah.
put it this way.
Yeah.
And then it's just like close your eyes and let it go.
I'm going to start sharing a lot more somatic practices in the group, because when we can move energy through the body and we can come back to self and recognize that it's just a sensation and there's a reason it's there, and we don't have to be making stories up about it, it makes it so much
Yeah.
easier to get through it.
Mm,
So, do you
hopefully.
notice that your symptoms change with your cycle, or can you see a pattern throughout the month or with foods you eat?
I With my cycle, it is, yeah. So I know exactly when is the ovulation and when I'm on my period because, oh gosh, I get super hot flashes at that time.
Yeah.
And both of them, I get a lot actually. So I'm super irritated, and my tolerance for stupidity is just not just gone completely. Seriously.
Yeah.
So yeah, even my friends said to me, "You became a little bit harsher lately." This is how they describe it,
Yeah.
harsher. Yeah, and my son is just like, is it menopause talking through you now? So I
That's
have
so
to say,
good. So good.
yes.
I
Yeah,
was
and
just,
I just tell him, listen, I'm struggling this week, for example, because this and this is happening. So please do not add to my bucket.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good. It's so good, though, that he has an awareness of why you are responding the way that you are, and he's not taking that to mean it's all about him.
Oh yeah. I had to make sure that he knows that it's not about him. Yeah, because it's just like
Yeah, I didn't
me.
know that. And so my poor kids, well, they were young when I went through it, and they really suffered with me being a tyrannical, grumpy mum. So,
Yeah, and the worst part of it is it seems like you don't have control over it because it's not me. I'm not nasty cow. I
mm,
don't want to be this way, but sometimes it's just like, no, it's just, yeah, it is
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, and then you regret it later on. Later on you say, well,
Oh,
why
yeah,
did I would never speak to someone that way, or I would never
yeah,
do anything like that. Like, how did that even happen? But it's like it's happened before you can even think about it. That was in the
I
early
know.
stages. That sort of goes away, thankfully. That doesn't last
Yeah.
for a great amount of time.
Thank God for that because I actually had to apologize my customers lately because I wasn't nice. Let's put it this way,
Yeah,
and only because of the overload
yeah,
I was experiencing at that time. It was just one day when on my way out, my front door broke, My
Oh,
son didn't go to college because he couldn't lock the door. At that time, he was actually playing up a little bit. He didn't want to go to college at all because what is the point, apparently?
yeah,
And then I was at work when he told me he didn't go. It was busy as bloody hell at work, so I had to serve. And those people just came in at the wrong time when I was trying to deal with everything at one time,
yeah.
and off I went. So yeah, but I did apologize. The guy I was rude to, he came back to our company those few months later, and he actually came to me and he was like, I just wanted to check on you because last time you didn't have the best day. Is everything sorted now? So it's like, what an impression, eh? So yeah, that was nice but embarrassing at the same time, but hey ho.
Hey ho. We've got Jacqueline in the gallery here, and she just said she can totally relate to that. She has no filter anymore, so she totally relates.
Yeah, that's gone long time, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely no filter. Do you find that there are foods that set you off? Like for me, coffee, tea, and chocolate set my heart racing. I know obviously they've got caffeine in them and they would normally up your heart rate anyway, but mine is next level and they also make me cry.
Oh, look at you. No, it makes me cry when I cannot have them.
Oh,
That's more like it. It's just looking, caffeine belongs in my blood, basically. So that's part of my system. So that doesn't affect me. But I had to give up on like white cheese, milk, and so lactose basically, and bread as well.
same.
So yeah. Oh, that's yeah. If I want bread, I just have to eat the right amount, so I know why I'm suffering. Yeah, I suffer one day and then I'm done for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've found sourdough is okay, and I make my own rye sourdough, so that's fine. But normal bread, like shop bought processed bread, can't have it anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I'm the same, and I make my bread as well. So yeah, and I must say, my taste changed with menopause because
Yeah,
I wouldn't do any of spicy food, and now I'm fine. I can do it. I
yeah,
even enjoy it. So
yeah.
boom, there you
There
go.
are estrogen receptors almost everywhere in your body. There are estrogen receptors in the mucosa of your mouth and in your tongue. There's estrogen receptors everywhere. So as our hormonal climate changes, so do our taste. Everything changes. It's just
Mm,
incredible. So you mentioned that you were making jokes about your symptoms because if you didn't laugh, you'd cry. How have
yeah,
mental and emotional changes affected your confidence and the way you see yourself?
I actually feel more confident, and as we said before, the filter is gone now, so I say things as they are, and I wouldn't say those things actually a few years back, but
Yeah.
now somehow they just come out.
Yeah, I feel
I
like we
without
become so much more authentic.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that was the positive side of it. Yeah, the only thing, the weight gain, I would say that's a big struggle at the moment because yeah, I miss my body,
Oh, yes, our bodies
the skinny
change and
one.
our mindset needs to change with that too. I've
Yeah.
done level one weight loss coaching and I'm just halfway through level two. So we will be working on that in the new year. But yeah, it's just get into that mindset of acceptance that things will change. They won't be exactly the same all the time, and that's okay. We're
No.
amazing just as we are.
Oh, I don't want that.
I have noticed that every single piece of unfinished business that I had ever buried in my life, every buried emotion, all came back up to be resolved. Like, did you notice that? That things that you hadn't cleaned house all came back?
No, because for last few years I was in therapy, so it wasn't intense,
Yeah,
let's put it this way. And yeah, quite a few years I've spent on dealing with those emotions, so it wasn't affecting me that much.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good. It's good that you knew to go to therapy to get that support because once you allow yourself to process all of the buried emotion and everything that comes up, you get to be authentically you and to find your own way in life rather than to be reactive.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Do you have any strategies that help you feel clearer or calmer these days?
Yes.
What do
My
you do?
walks. I
Oh, your
just
walk.
go, it must be walk on my own. I
Yep.
just don't want company. I don't want talks, small talks, any talks really. My music, me, myself, and I, and the nature, and I'm done. And I can walk for hours.
Yeah,
Trust me.
beautiful.
Because I used to train. It was quite intense, and then I experienced this like really bad burnout,
Yep.
and obviously then I struggled with my menopause at the beginning of the year, so I was like out of order for 6 months, and I'm slowly getting back to it now. But you
Yep.
know what changed? I used to meditate quite a lot.
Yep.
It makes me feel irritated now when I meditate. I don't know
Really?
why. Yes, so I'd rather go for like intense walk rather than sitting and meditating. I don't know why, because I enjoyed that, and now I'm trying like short sessions, but I wouldn't do at the moment. I wouldn't do what I was doing before. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
And that's just an increase in
Yeah.
cortisol. So cortisol
Mm.
is your motivating hormone. It's the hormone that motivates you to move. But if you have too much cortisol, you can feel overstimulated and the adrenaline. So I've found that doing somatic meditation, so it's more like a movement meditation where your hands are moving, your legs, your body's moving, but you're still in that meditative state, or you could be listening
Yeah.
to guided meditation. That works because you're moving the energy through.
Mm.
But yeah, some people
Yeah.
do find it a challenge to sit and meditate when they're in perimenopause, for sure.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one then.
No, absolutely not. And walking is a double benefit because if you're doing zone two cardio, then you're supporting your heart health and your blood vessels because your whole vascular system stiffens as estrogen declines. Zone two cardio is said to actually reverse that. So that's really important. What's something you're learning to give yourself permission to do more or less of now that your brain demands more care?
I definitely had to learn how to take a step back
Mhm.
and just let myself do nothing,
Yeah,
because I was like on the go constantly, and I really had to slow down lately. So yeah, and I don't get the guilty feeling when I'm doing that, if that makes sense, because I
yeah,
was always, when resting, I was just not, I could be doing stuff, actually, more productive stuff.
yeah.
So yeah, I give myself permission to just sit and do nothing.
Yeah, good. That's amazing. We have a challenge or a reset coming up. I've called it Hustle to Harmony. And I'm really going to educate women on what happens in your body when you're stressed and then the compound impact of what happens with perimenopause. And once women understand that, there should be no reason for them not to start taking better care of themselves because if you can understand exactly what's happening in your body, it's insane. We need to really look after ourselves.
Yeah, oh,
Mm.
definitely.
I'm going to give you a little bit of information about what's going on, and that might alleviate some of the stress that people are feeling. This is a a graph of what happens to your hormones during perimenopause. So as you can see, I say there's 5 stages. I got that from Dr. Geraldine Pryor. She believes there's 5 stages to perimenopause. And when I learned that from her and I read her stages, it validated everything I had experienced in the last 15 years. Like, it just made me say, oh, I am normal. There is nothing wrong with me. I'm going to be okay. And it just made so much sense of what I'd experienced. So when we're in stage 1, progesterone actually starts to drop first. So progesterone is your calming hormone. And when progesterone begins to decline, you might experience anxiety, depression, irritability, restlessness, heightened sensitivity to stress, and becoming less tolerant because estrogen is a little bit more activating and it doesn't have that soothing force of progesterone with it. In stage 2, that's when your estrogen starts to fluctuate wildly. And so your mood changes again. You get increased irritability, restlessness. You're on an emotional roller coaster. You tend to have a little bit more low tolerance. And I've noticed just in viewing other people and with myself, yet people seem to be seeking and striving for fulfillment in that stage. So they're looking externally for validation. They're trying to, it's a little bit of that push, prove, prop, and perform energy, I've noticed. And then in stage 3, progesterone is low and estrogen is now really declining. So then the brain fog sets in, right? Because the estrogen decline is what causes the brain fog, the absent-mindedness, the inability to recall words, which is something that so many women talk about. We become a little bit more reflective and a little bit more internally focused. So we're more considering our life purpose. And then in stage 5, that's post-menopause. That's when progesterone and estrogen are at their new baseline. So your brain does acclimatize to the new hormonal environment, but it's kind of like changing from petrol to gas in a car. So your brain does adapt to the change, but it takes a little bit of clunkiness as it switches over. So does that make sense? Does that help you understand it a little bit more?
That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
This one is showing you why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. So as you can see, this is your brain. And all of these blue markers are areas of the brain that have estrogen receptors. And the purple P's are the parts of the brain that have progesterone receptors. As you can see, this impacts your working memory, your learning and memory, your regulation of temperature, sleep, energy balance, emotion and motivation, mood, information processing and short-term memory, attention, arousal and anxiety. So can you see now why
Yep.
you are so impacted by fluctuations in estrogen and progesterone? I'll just share some quick tips to support your brain through the transition. So these are all from Dr. Lisa Mosconi's book, The Menopause Brain. Anything that you get from me will be evidence-based. I will only use evidence-based information to share because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical health professional. Therefore, I rely on evidence-based information from doctors and scientists. So Dr. Mosconi is a brain neuroscientist. And she said the best tips for supporting your brain through the transition are regular exercise, because that stimulates serotonin release, it enhances your memory and reduces risk of dementia, allows for more vigorous brain activity. I won't read through it all. The green Mediterranean diet, or at least the Mediterranean diet, because that has been proven for women to have a 40% lower risk of developing depression in old age, which is just, that is so powerful for me because that's something that has been in my family. So it's something that I really take note of. Avoiding processed foods. So any of the white bread, packaged snacks, desserts, we all know this, but just understanding that it's going to give us longevity of the mind is something that makes me say, yeah, I'm not eating that anymore. Drink more water. Your brain is made up of water. So your brain is like jelly, apparently. Yes, good
Yes, for you it
job.
is.
I got
Yeah.
mine too. I've got mine too. So drinking plenty of water, because even mild dehydration can trigger things like brain fog. So we don't want to make that worse.
Yeah.
Stress less, because estrogen regulates cortisol. So as estrogen declines, cortisol rises. So things like practicing yoga, doing mindfulness practices, Kundalini yoga, which is something else I want to study, because the energy movement with Kundalini is
Mm.
amazing, and deep diaphragmatic breathing. And then sleep hygiene. So just having a regular sleep routine,
Yeah.
get up the same time and go to bed the same time each day, get sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning, because that actually switches off melatonin and switches on cortisol. So it resets your circadian rhythm. Put all your electronics at least 3 meters from your bed or outside your bedroom, even better. And keep a brain dump diary so you can just dump the thoughts of the day, and then you can rest without ruminating on them. So do you feel
Mm.
like you do most of those things?
Yeah, most I would say. I have to work on my snacks, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with myself.
Oh, good, good, good. So what would you love to say to any woman who feels like she's losing herself mentally right now?
Be kind to yourself. Be
Yeah.
Just give yourself space to struggle, for ask for help if you need it,
Yeah.
and I know you got this.
Yeah,
We all got this. So we it won't
absolutely.
last forever. So there is a light in the tunnel.
There is. There is. Oh, thank you so much, Kate. You are such a gift to our community. I am so grateful. Thanks so much for joining us for this proactive perimenopause chick chat, and for being part of these important real life conversations. These chats are about everyday women coming together, sharing honestly, and realising we don't have to navigate perimenopause alone. If anything shared by our wonderful guest today resonated with you, we'd love to hear about it. So feel free to share your reflections or takeaways in the video comments below. And if you're craving ongoing support, deeper conversations, and practical tools to help you feel more informed and empowered, we'd love to welcome you into the Proactive Perimenopause Facebook group. Inside the group, you'll also have the opportunity to register your interest in sharing your own story in future monthly Chick Chats. The more stories shared, the stronger the message of unity and connection. You can join us by clicking the link in the video notes. Until next time, stay curious, stay proactive, and keep choosing optimal health and vitality through perimenopause and beyond.